Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another tutorial. So in this lesson we're picking up exactly where we left off in the previous video. And in the previous video we were doing some fixes. Now we can continue those fixes and I'm going to begin with the player high kick. So the first thing I'm going to do is these public floats here. I'm going to change the values. Again, you'll want to experiment with the values to find ones that fit your project. But these are the ones I'm going to use for the moment. So as you can see, I've just changed it to 0 and 0.5. And we're going to come down to the void update. So let's have a look. We want the return line as it is. Same for this line. So let's now add some code here. So we're going to implement another if statement. If next high kick allowed is greater than 0. We'll just quickly put these into the comments. Is greater than 0. Next high kick is allowed. We'll say minus equals time dot delta time. We'll just then decrease the value in the comments. Let's just copy that new if block. We'll paste it in below. This time we'll say it's less than 0. So we're just preventing a negative. We'll just set it to equal 0. Then set next high kick allowed to 0. And we'll now come to the on trigger stay. So I'm just going to go through and have a look on yes, we're fine. We can continue on in the on trigger stay. So if open and close brackets. So this is coming after this return statement. It wants to be just below that but above the rest of the code. So it is important where this goes. It's greater than 0. And we'll just copy the return line in. Again, we'll just quickly put that into the comments. It's greater than 0. So let's have a look. And we're going to change the second part of this if statement. So if and so let's now come and we'll put next high kick is allowed. It's less than or equal to 0. It shouldn't be necessary to put the less than, but again, just in case, it just helps prevent bugs. I mean, it's like I said, it shouldn't be necessary because we are preventing a negative here, but it's always good practice to do things like this. So let's just change the comment and we'll paste in and next high kick allowed is less than or equal to 0. We'll still call the head kick function as it is. Next high kick is allowed. We'll just make that equal to time delay. And we'll just tidy everything up. Let's save that off there. And we'll just come to the resources folder and our model. So we'll open the prefab. We'll quickly search for the game object that script is attached to. Player high kick, let's just reset that script. And we'll hit play and we'll see how it now performs. So yes, I haven't got around to changing the colours back, but I will do for the buttons. So I've still got the audio on mute just to make it easier to talk. And that is working very nicely now. No extra hits. So let's just stop that there. So let's now come to the low kick. So all we're going to do is just make the same changes to the low kick. So I'm just going to run through this fairly quickly without explaining too much because we've already been through it once. So we're lucky in this sense because we can just copy and paste the code in. Obviously we'll just need to swap out variable names, so obviously we'll have to swap next high kick for low kick. And just remembering to switch out the comments. I'll tidy them up off camera. We'll just continue on for now. So again, this if statement that goes below the first one, change high to low. And we'll just copy over the specific lines for these if statements. And we'll just get rid of that. So I'll just save that off there. A word of note, these values here, I'm just changing them to these values for now. I may have to go back and use different values for each kick, for the punches, but you'll need to experiment with that for yourself, because I do realise you'll all be using different models and such, and yes, you'll probably need to change those. So with that, let's do the punches. And again, it's the exact same deal. We're not making any other changes other than the ones we've already done. So and of course, always trying to remember to swap out the comments. And let's now come to the on trigger stay. Again, the new if block, and then it's just going to be the individual lines. So this part after the double and, I'll just quickly swap out the naming conventions. And as I said, I'll go back through and tidy all these comments up and just double check that I've not missed any changes off camera. But as long as the code is correct, so finally for the last punch script, again just quickly getting these in place. So nearly done now. Final on trigger stay function. So as I say, when you're doing this, just be aware of where all the code goes. It is important this time, as I said, so just be aware of that. And that is it, nearly done. So let's have a look here. Okay, let's save that off there. We could probably do some tidying up of code here, but we'll leave that for another video. And yes, we'll do another video regarding any optimizations or just tidying up redundant code. We'll probably go through multiple scripts. We'll leave it there for this lesson. In the next lesson, I'm going to carry on doing some different things for the game. We will come back to the options menu. I've decided to do it that way rather than keep going with the options, because that can take quite a long time, and I am aware that most of you would sooner see things in game improve rather than just the options and the menus. So we'll carry on, we'll do some different things, and we'll come back to the options. The options are important because obviously we will have options that do affect gameplay later on, so it is important to get it in place, but I just want to break things up, hopefully keep things interesting for you. So we'll leave it here for this video. As always, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope to see you next time, and until then, as always, bye for now.